Alright, we are here with Hazoret the Fervent. I've always really liked this commander. I'm not a fan of like super aggro stuff in general, but I like the lore of the character. Like I read the Amonkhet story, and I really like the character like in general, so it's kind of cool. I don't believe I've played it before, right? It's not really my wheelhouse to play mono red aggro stuff, but I think it's kind of interesting, and I'm in the mood to play a deck that costs like all ones and twos, because the last time I tried to do this, it didn't work at all. Actually, the last two times. One, because I thought I could play Lurrus, and I couldn't. And then two, the deck was just bad. So maybe Mono Red can pull it off, right? It's a 4-mana 5/4 indestructible haste, but it can't attack or block unless you have one or fewer cards. So you really want to get rid of your hand pretty quickly. And this helps you do that by paying 3 to pitch cards to shock your opponent's face. Pretty mana intensive, but not the end of the world, right? I am running some weird stuff that kind of go against this, but I think a couple of that kind of card is fine, like Bedlam Reveler, right? This means I can no longer swing with Hazoret, but I can swing in the turn earlier, right? Earlier on the turn, and then post-combat play this, and it's very likely I will cast the spells by the time it goes to my next combat step with Hazoret, right? I think our weakest matchups are probably anything that can put an aura under this, like Humiliate, Frogify, all that jazz. That'll be kind of a nightmare. I can simply kill it, but it's not looking like I'm going to be able to consistently recast it, right? It costs 6 at that point, so... You know, sometimes this doesn't work, so things like Bedlam Reveler keep you in the game, where otherwise you just immediately lose. We have other, you know, expected creatures. You'd see Kiln Fiend, Inti, just all the good 1 and 2 mana red creatures that make sense. Spells that give this trample. Spells that go face. You know, I mean, it's just mono red. I'm not running Beaumont Courier. I think that's what it's called. The one that, like, you attack, put a card under it, and then whatever, however many cards are under it, you pay 1 red and you get them all to your hand. That doesn't seem super reliable. I can't imagine a 1/1 hitting my opponent in the face 3 times in a row, or really even twice, right? I just don't see that. I know I can burn away all the blockers, but I'm casting burn spells to, like, get this Beaumont Courier through, which meant I cost... Like, I'm spending cards to do that, so I'm just replacing cards I spent to make it unblockable. I don't really see the logic, right? Unless I'm going to kill the creatures anyways with my burn spells, but... That's it. Yep, straightforward. I'm running mountains instead of snowlands because I'm so sick and tired of playing snowlands. I think the only card that matters is Frostbite. If it ends up biting me, that this didn't do 3 damage... fine, but I don't want to run snowlands right now. But if you care, just run them. I want to look at this mountain for once. Give me it once, please. But yep, that's Hazoret. We go face. Like, comment, subscribe. Every time I play against this commander, I think of the person who was adamant that this is just better than Golos, and I to this day, it still blows my mind that they're so adamant about that. Like, how do you think... Golos is in tier 1. This is not. That alone should kind of give you what you're thinking about. It's such an insane idea to me. Alright, I'm going to cast this because my deck is all about doing that. And I got really good hits there. Wow, that was phenomenal, actually. Okay. I couldn't have asked for better. That was, well, maybe slightly better, but... Joda is better. Alright, I'm going to time you out. You timed out. You know what? It might be better now because it's not in tier 1. It's a 5-color commander that doesn't have to be in tier 1. That alone could just make it better because its opponents are significantly weaker. I can concede to that logic. Alright, always doing this. And probably swinging with Grim Lavamancer. What do you have, Stifle? What is this? What are you doing? Is this the hold a sword as a plowshare for 10 years? Yep, it is. I don't really know if I would have done that, but sure. So I can play both burn spells and then immediately cast Hazoret and swing with it. This is what we signed up for. You only have to pay 5 to do anything? Yeah, but it has to come out of hand. It has to come out of hand. Otherwise, it's like a Zuza. If you don't have the card in your hand, it doesn't. It's Golos just pays for itself too. Every time it dies, it literally pays for itself because it goes and gets a land. Yep, I gotta send a lightning bolt. Now they could have counter spells, but for the most part, I don't think they usually do. But it could just be, you know, another game where I just don't get to play my commander. Okay. Some kind of... Alright. Sure. That's the second game. Someone had a removal spell that is not a destroy target. You run Omniscience and just have it in hand? Yeah, I mean, sure. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. What makes more sense? This first? Actually, no, what am I talking about? I could just do both. My opponent's at the life total that they are, so I don't know if I want to... I might just leave up Grim Lavamancer for damage here. I think I'm going to actually do that. I don't know if I want to kill that Delighted Halfling. I feel like it makes sense to just kill it, so I'm going to kill it. Feels like it makes sense. Okay, so we do this. Neither of these are that exciting. I guess I'm casting this one. Opponent has to think again. Opponent figured something out. And I can Faithless Looting to give the Flameblade Adept some power, which would be nice. Okay, looks like they're just cycling that. They did not hit a land, so just cycling the Time Warp. They top decked a land. If they cast a board wipe, they go to 6 and then 1 with Hazoret's attack, if they don't have anything else other than a board wipe. If they cast Joda, they then have to block with it, so that's probably not going to get them anywhere. They could be selecting modes for Solve the Equation. I mean, Farewell. Okay, that's not the case. I don't know what this gets at 3 mana that matters. Especially with the remaining colors. I don't know. Let's find out. Toxic Deluge for 2. So they go to 4. No, wait. No, they're just dead. Now they're just dead. Yeah, because now I just cast Hazard. Oh, no. They're not just dead. They're not just dead. Alright, now they are. I was about to say, I did need to draw land. I'm kind of confused why they didn't kill this Flameblade Adept. Hold on, I gotta reconvene. I didn't realize this is still alive. Did they just pay a single life? Or just pitch the land? That also would have worked. I had plenty of ways to not lose that. Plenty of ways. Alright, hopefully Amped Raptor does something funny. That would be pretty neat. It actually did. It found one of the best cards in my deck. Do these give haste? Trample? Trample. Nope. Alright. I don't think really any of them give haste. This already has haste, so I'm not really in a haste-giving situation with this deck. I'm going to put the counters on the Amped Raptor, I think? Because it can have First Strike, which can annoy my opponent if they try to block with their commander. And I don't see a reason not to play this. Alright, yeah. I mean, we're just under an Illuge opponent, right? Like, what are they going to do? Countering stuff like this is nice, but, like, this is already in play. Good luck. Your deck probably doesn't do much until, like, for a few turns. Like, yeah, it's not really much you can do, right? Alright, this is another hand where this is a little annoying to play before I play anything else, but I think that's fine. Alright, I'm going to anticipate a Mana Dork and play in this order, and then have these for this turn. Alright, they did not have a Mana Dork. I will just cast Electrostatic Infantry. Be nice to get some counters on that for once. Though I guess I did that one game. And now we start surveilling. I'm going to put an upkeep stop because I would like to draw a land. Alright, never mind. Apparently it went right through it. Let's kill that. That's not a land. Although it is a pretty good card. I'm going to play this instead of Goldhound. I know Goldhound is a mana, but this is probably just better. It's not like I'm casting Hazoret and swinging with it for a couple turns anyways. Yep, look at that. We killed the Mana Dork. I think this is the first Mana Dork I've killed in the opener. It took 30 minutes, which is kind of crazy. Usually every game this happens, but it took me 30 minutes, and look at that. I killed it and they lost. I'm under the blue counters if they have any, and I set them back quite a ways. That's kind of funny, though. Alright, I'll keep it because of the Heist card. Blood Moon would wreck most of my opponents? I'm pretty sure it would only wreck a single opponent I've played. Everyone else, it would not have done anything. I'll have to look, like, after, but I'm pretty sure Blood Moon wouldn't have done anything. Alright, my opponent took the card I wanted. And, of course, I draw a Madness card to immediately go with it. Why not? I was actually going to say if I've played against a control deck, it would have been good against it. And this could be the first opponent where it actually would have been very good to have it. Blood Moon. But it has to resolve, too. It's not like it doesn't just come in for free. My opponent can literally counter it. I'm going to play this as my land. I'm going to play it untapped because Fiery Temper exists. Blood Moon would be good here, that's for sure. Well, maybe. Like this land specifically, but that doesn't mean all their lands. Okay, yeah, it would have been good for that one too. I'm going to just cast Fiery Temper. I probably should cast the... Nah, we're casting this. That's interesting. Alright, I'll take the time to play this then. I can't swing with it for a while, but... maybe they can't kill it, right? It's a Grixis removal deck. Maybe this just sits in play, and it's a problem. Okay. This is half their life total. And unfortunately they know about this, so it's not very exciting, but I can simply discard it to Hazoret. They need... I really don't know what they need here. Hazoret is a huge problem. Yeah, that turn where they had to, like, bounce something on my turn, or their own turn, just... Yes, makes this Hazoret resolved very scary. Blood Moon would have definitely done it, but, I mean, I guess technically they had the answer for it, so... Okay. Alright. This shows me no answer in sight. I can trigger Prowess with this. So, Desperation Heist. I mean, honestly, most burn spells in my deck just sort of maybe keep them alive. So I guess I'm putting this on Hazoret now. Whereas I otherwise would not be doing that. They cast it immediately, which I don't think they should have done. I don't think they should have done that. They have the mana to cast their commander now, and it... I mean, unless you're representing this card has to be relevant, otherwise you might as well cast your commander. Alright, looks like that card is not relevant, so... Does this kill my opponent? First strike and trample. Swing, swing. 1 damage. Have to play this first. We can just see how they block and then cast this. I don't have to do it immediately because I correctly played my card first. But I think this is always lethal. I think. I don't know. Sure. Okay, so I can trample over for 3 here, and they take 3, or here and they take 4. Here and they take 4, right? Yeah. Alright. Alright. If I put it on the other one, I think they were... Yeah, because the... Yeah, I think it had to be this one, because the other one would only get over for 3 damage. Alright, I like the heist card, again. Helps me get my hands low. Okay, there it is again. Kill it with this one. Sounds like most monocolor decks, yeah. Yeah. I'm glad to see that that's important. Makes me feel good about my decision to kill it again. Probably get rid of the monstrous rage here. That depends what I draw, I guess. That's probably easier to get rid of, yeah. Delighted Halfling, Key to the Archive. These are all really funny. I kind of want Key, but, like, I'm never going to be able to cast it, so it just doesn't make sense to play it, I don't think. So, if I draw a land, I think I can play Magic. If I don't know. I did draw land, so I can do the thing. Unfortunately, I'm 1 minute short of Teamer Battle Rage slamming into my opponent for a quadrillion. Unfortunate. Actually, they would have... No, they wouldn't have just died. They would not have died. I'm going to get rid of this because the mana is slightly more important right now. Okay, so I pitch the land, and then I swing, and if they for some reason don't block, Teamer Battle Rage just kills them. I don't think it's likely they don't block, but I don't know. They might not. They do block. Alright, I'm not going to commit the Teamer Battle Rage. I think there's still value in it surprising my opponent, as they could play in a different way because I'm not showing immediate lethal, right? Because they might play super defensive if I pushed another 6 damage, and now they literally just tap this and stuff, whereas they might as well in a different way not have done that. Ugh, this brony stuff makes me cringe, I'm not gonna lie. To each their own, just saying. Oh, man. This is a brony bashing stream. Alright, this only goes on creatures, and that's not very exciting. Wait, we can just do the same thing. Alright, I was about to say, I can just do the same thing I did last time. Just pitch the card. Gotta remember, gotta do it before I go to combat, but... We beat the brony. Look at that. I have beaten it. It's proving itself to be pretty good as a mono-black commander, although I still think it really, in the grand scheme of things, really is not that good. Okay, a 2-power Dreadhorde is pretty neat, sort of. Or I can just die, yep, that works too. Why not? I'm gonna cycle this Renegade Tactics, I think. Yeah. Pillar of Flame probably doesn't have many targets, so let's just turn it into damage. And a card out of hand. Okay, so I can put that there, can put this here, bunch of damage, and then hope I draw a land. I could have waited and then Teamer Battle Raged without my commander. I'm sure that there's logic in that. What is this at? It's at 2? Okay, so we keep the thing that can just kill it. I did not draw a land. I think I can beat... Oh, come on with these... What is this, dude? Come on. What are you doing over there? Come on, dude. What are you doing? I swear if there's an edict, I'm going to be really upset. I'm going to be upset. If they find an edict, I'm going to be an upset player. Okay, so this is indestructible. I can't cast all 3 of these. I can play... Oh man, if I could thud. Alright, am I dead here? I think the game's over. I think the game is over. I can do 10, but they can just block it. So I think I actually have to kill this, which is really bad, but I literally have to kill this. I just have to kill it. Because it minuses or pluses and I'm losing. I need them to not have anything? I don't know what that looks like though. That does not have haste, but I suppose they can cast it again for removal? Sort of? That's a weird target. Okay. Mutiny. Target... Okay, I haven't actually cast this yet. I don't think it's going to do anything right now. So... Bud these for no reason. And swing? Okay. I also kind of forgot my opponent's at 5. You'll have to excuse me for being dumb. For some reason I thought they were not at 5. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't see that. I was like, oh, I'm screwed, but right, they're at 5. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of nuts, actually. They had both 6-mana Lilianas. That's really crazy. Okay, Authority of the Councils is actually really annoying. It takes me off of the turn I cast Hazoret, so I could just plan on casting Hazoret before I could swing with it anyways. Okay, Grand Abolisher, I can deal with that one. So far, no equipment. I will discard Critical Hit. Yeah, we'll discard Critical Hit here. I'm going to assume it's like the worst card in my hand, so. Sure. I guess. I think I would have waited to see what the heist is, but that works too. Might just take the burn spell here. I think that makes sense. And pass the turn. Probably a good idea to just kill this. Let's find something here first, maybe? I will discard Cemetery Gatekeeper. That's fine. Okay. I wonder if we want Young Pyromancer. I don't think I do, but maybe I do. I don't know. It's only instant sorceries, right? It's not non-creatures or whatever. But that's probably fine. I don't see much merit in ever getting to the other levels, because that's a lot of time spent just doing that. Alright, they have the best card ever, but it looks like nothing to go with it. Lucky us. I should probably take this time to simply cast Hazoret. I do have pump spells in hand, which, you know, just go with a creature in play, so... I'm not going to cast Monstrous Rage right now. I'm just not going to do that. But it would be, you know, mana efficient to do that. I do lose the 2 damage here, but that's not really too big of a deal. No equipment and no lands in hand. Okay, they immediately drew an equipment. They just top-decked it. It's also a protection from red equipment, because of course it is. Of course, they immediately find another equipment and a land to go with it. Okay. Opponent couldn't have asked for a better turn. Can I one-shot them? I don't think so. I'm technically not dead, though. Technically not dead. Technically not dead. The problem is I can't actually swing. So I suppose I should just blow up this stupid thing. Kind of want to keep my whole hand, but... Okay, wait a minute. Now I think I do win, right? Hold on. 16? No, that's not enough. It's not enough. I'm still casting it. I'm still casting it, but... Yeah, it's not enough. It's almost enough, but not quite. So I'm not going to Thud, and I'll just see what happens this turn cycle. They don't have the equipment anymore that draws cards, and the other one doing raw damage is not enough. That's an unusual card. Can I cast? Yeah, I'll just recast Hazoret. It's not... Well, actually, it is threatening lethal now, because I did draw something that makes the power higher. Okay, I think we won. This doesn't have haste. It doesn't have haste, right? There's no way it gets haste. Yep. Oh, wait, no, I don't just win, though, because it's a lot of... Ah, shoot, wait, I have to think, So, +6/+6, or +5/+5. Okay, my opponent's not dead. My opponent's not dead. I have to do it now because Hazoret needs me to have less cards in hand to swing. Not going to make that mistake for the 12th time. But they have to block it. They have to block it. There's an argument to not blocking it because Hazoret lives and their commander dies. But they would go to 2 and any top deck would kill them. If they were at 13, I think... Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The reason not to block is because if that last card does not kill them in my hand, I'm dead. I have 1 card in hand, and they're showing lethal, right? So, if it wasn't lethal, then I was literally dead. So, that's the reason to not block. Alright, we got there, though. Seems to happen a lot. It is sort of a Teamer Battle Rage, but I just haven't gotten to do the thing yet. Whenever you draw, target opponent loses a life and you gain a life. Alright, so you draw cards and gain life. That's pretty cool. I've seen this, I think, once before, and I don't know what it did. I can't remember. There's not much reason to discard a card right now, so I don't even think I will for the whole turn cycle. Probably just go back to my own turn here. There's not many 3-mana cards, right? So going down a minute. Oh, look at that! This is the second time this has happened. Wait, I don't have to do this right now. And I probably shouldn't, because they're the kind of deck that they are, so... Although, there's some cards I can actually cast here that I would want to at 2, so I'm gonna do it. It's not like this has haste or anything. That is actually one of those cards. I kind of wish I had it pre-combat, actually. But I think they have a counterspell. I think there's a counterspell. Alright, if there is, they didn't send it here. So it must be a counterspell for next turn, so I'm just not casting Hazoret. Fair enough. I can pump this, critical hit it, and then inti counter it. How much is that? 3, 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13, 14, 15. They're almost dead if I had total, like, carte blanche access to unanswered nonsense. I'll play the land first. I don't see a reason not to cast critical hit here, even in the face of a counterspell. So, I think there is a counterspell, though. Yeah, it's not a targeted removal spell, though, so I can safely just target the Root Walla. This is the first time I've cast it, and it looks like it won't resolve. Of course it's mana drain. Why wouldn't it be, right? This is 2 damage, but it's also a land, so... Strangle does not kill the 3/4, so I won't do that. Alright, do I lose because you have mana drain? They only have 1 white source, so no white sweeper. Some black sweepers, but okay, that actually is not that bad. Honestly, it's kind of totally fine. Alright. Well, I'm back. Hazoret is looming in the distance, ever so scary if I ever get to that point. And they haven't dealt with my hand yet, so... I think spot remove... Fractured Identity? Wow, I've never seen anyone cast that before. Cool. I like that. Alright, let's pump this. Let's Pillar of Flame the blocker. Cavern of Souls is just stupid, so I'll keep that. This is 4? I think I'm gonna do this to push more damage. Yeah, now Hazoret's just always lethal and uncounterable. They need something that I don't know what that something is. It's Fountain Port again. Look at that. They can have Brainstorm and gain some life that way. Alright, there's 1 life there. Oh, they're gonna learn about Cavern Souls. Kind of tragic. Although I'm not casting Hazoret and swinging with it next turn unless I Lightning Axe. And I think I'm going to Lightning Axe. Okay, opponent goes to 7 when this is all said and done. But their commander is dead. And yeah. Don't think my opponent is dead though. So cast this. Are they dead? Oh wait, yeah they're dead. What was I talking about? Of course they're dead. Not bad. Yeah. Get Schmied House of Horrors style, but the Eldritch Elder Demon that's behind everything is really cool. So I like that. The card itself kind of sucks though, but I don't care. I don't care. Card is not very exciting, unfortunately. Alright, always swing first. We got Ragavan. I almost forgot we had Ragavan. Did I scam win? I didn't. Tragic. Alright, play this. I guess now I'm simply playing this post-combat? Yeah. I had no reason to cast Hazoret next turn anyways, really, so... I am so far ahead, it's not even funny. Alright, play Minidork. Come on. No, no. Alright. Alright, fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. Still don't like you for it, but... very well. I'm gonna get rid of this shock here. Okay, it's fine. Technically have Hazoret mana, but I can't cast Hazoret in swing next turn with it. Goat Bear with the sub. Thank you, thank you. Welcome to the, what I used to say, the Beehive. The Beehive. That's it, yeah. You are now a worker bee. I'm sorry I said that. It came out of my mouth and now I feel kind of cringe. I'm going to take this time to cast this and assume I don't lose the game in the intermediate. Bees rock, yeah. Maybe I should do a bee emote, but no, that's too into the bee thing. I don't have an affinity for bees. It's just my last name. It's just my last name. It has nothing to do with bees. Yeah, I got monetized on YouTube finally, so that's pretty exciting. I am now a YouTube partner. Pretty cool. I can order Domino's once a month with my YouTube money. Look at that. It's putting bread on the table. Hey, I have that card, opponent. Although, when I cast it, it's probably a little bit more scary. Probably a little bit more scary. But maybe not. Am I casting it next turn? I don't even know if I am. I don't think so. I kind of want to actually level this up for once. Source non-combat damage. It doesn't really play into what I'm doing, honestly. Maybe I just don't do that. Alright, I'm going to lead with this. Loot away the Phoenix. Does that count as Phoenix? No, it doesn't. Tragic. Yeah, let's just get rid of this. There's some 1-mana cards I could find. I did not find one. Tragic. Alright, my opponent's at, what, 9? Or, 6, I mean? Upside down 9. Unlike your friend who goes by KB. Everything about her streams B-related. That's funny. Alright, so they have 7 mana. This could be lights out for us. Alright, not necessarily. There's not a lot of things Atali does here that are a major issue. Crater Hoof's a little too late, and they got something that doesn't do anything. Alright, so yeah, like I said, not really that scary. I am 1 card away from killing them. Oh, alright, wait, I don't want to sandbag it. I don't want to sandbag my opponent. Sorry, let me just... Nice Atali. It's a shame if something were to happen to it. As in, literally nothing at all, because I don't care. Yes! Don't you do it. Oh, come on. Oh, wait, that's fine. That's fine. Probably take DRC? Although, randomly active treasoning this is hilarious, and they probably don't want me to do that. So, they probably just take the Bloodthirsty Adversary. Oh, wait, this isn't active treason. This is spells. Never mind. I'm dumb. It's also a card that probably doesn't want to be in here. Yeah, the sequence plays that I play this next. Alright, so, yeah, I'm just playing as 2-2. Then I play this, and it gets that, and I cast that, and I do this. Is this the old stare at my 2 lands, do nothing, and then pass? Control opener? No, it's not. Alright, I'll take out the one... this is more damage. This requires cards, this doesn't. But technically, the next turn, it would have been 1 more damage, technically, like this turn cycle. Technically. Sort of. Actually, is that even true? I don't think that's even true. No, it's not true. I'm not going to have enough damage to kill them before, like, this comes into play. And then from there, I kind of lose. But we'll see. This probably takes Flame of Keld. However, my whole hand is a bit of an issue for them, so... doesn't really matter. It probably should take the Flame of Keld. Okay, it just doesn't. Interesting. That means mana drain, I lose? Is that what that means? I think that's what that means, huh? There is no incentive to cast a single spell pre-combat, so I'm not... Let's see what it is. It is a counterspell, so I basically lose if it's mana drain. And I feel like it's mana drain. In what universe do I not cast this anyways? Okay. I don't know when I would not cast this. Okay, that's fine. That is not mana drain. That is still leaving up counter magic. Yep. That is not leaving up counter magic unless it's wash away. Alright, maybe you get Schmieded. You can't cast it if it is wash away. Maybe it wasn't. Alright, so 2 discards and they're dead, or a single discard with the Raminap Ruins, they're dead. Casting their commander, they're just dead. They need more blockers than just a 6. Yep, they're just dead. Alright, nice. Nice, look at that. Wow. We actually got there. Okay, so This was pretty good. I know the last few times I've tried to do 1 and 2 mana only card decks, they just crumbled and lost. But this one did not. I did not have an issue with getting my hand very empty. And when I'm doing that, my opponent is busy actually dealing with the cards I'm throwing in their face. It's not just ignore completely and then, only deal with Hazoret. They do have to do something about the opening hand I have, right? And then Hazoret comes in once my hand is empty. That's the whole point. And that felt fine. I had some trample enablers for this that I actually ended up taking out just now because it did not seem like giving this trample was as relevant as I thought it would be. So, like it getting blocked by a creature every turn is not that free from most decks, especially if I'm denying the ability to have an opponent play a bunch of smaller creatures because I have a lot of burn spells that I can just kill them. So it wasn't really a big deal to not have it get trample all the time. I would still keep Teamer Battle Rage, still just like an out of nowhere double striking trampling 5 damage is obviously really good, so I'd keep that one. I never saw what Eidolon could do, unfortunately. And interestingly enough, there was a game where I played Flame of Keld with no cards in hand, and it would draw to a point where Hazoret would not be able to swing, but my opponent still countered it, right? So I guess my assessment about this being good in a Hazoret deck was correct. It just seemed solid. All of the creatures felt good except a couple of them that had text boxes that never came up. There's like, oh, a 2/2 haste. So I took those out for things that are a little bit more relevant, right? This doesn't have haste like the adversary does, but the text box actually matters, so I think that's worth it. Amped Raptor is awesome. I would probably put this in the command zone if I could, because playing 2 creatures like this fast, if this is a legendary, I feel like it would be very, very oppressive, right? Like borderline Ragavan on turn 2. Just pushing so much damage in play early is like crazy, but I don't know how true that is. It just felt very good every time I cast it. The cycling trampler cards, this one could probably come out. It doesn't get rid of itself in hand, so you need to also be able to have a low hand count after you cast this. And the only reason you're casting it is to give this trample. So you got to make sure when you cast this, you can then actually, still swing. Otherwise, what was the point? But for the most part, that's not a big deal. If you're casting Hazoret, that means you have 4 mana. If you have 4 mana, you can obviously vomit out your entire hand, because look at the mana curve. It's not really a big deal, unless you flood your hand with lands and then can't activate this to get rid of them, which, again, you probably can. So that's really not that big of a deal. All the burn was fine. Killing mana dorks won me games outright, because if they rely on the mana... I think somebody actually reanimated Llanowar Elves. Like, they played Llanowar Elves, I killed it, they reanimated it, I killed it again, and then they scooped. They tried to just get that time walk to sit and play for a turn. It's like, no, I'm just not going to let you do that, right? Green's best option, or best strategy against this, it seemed at least, was to completely ignore me. There was a game against Tat Yova where I had 3 fairly large-sized creatures attacking every turn, and I think I dealt 9 damage twice, and they never blocked. They had 3 creatures sitting there, and they just didn't block. They just took 18. And I still lost. I just lost that game, because Green's best strategy seems to ignore you. Ignore you, and then use all those mana dorks to then cast something I can't beat. So... kind of lame, but it just forces Green into the go fish, or whatever you call it, in a vacuum where it ignores you, and if you don't kill them in time, you lose the game or whatever. And it's kind of unfortunate, but I think the Humiliates and the 1/1 lose all ability cards were not as bad as I thought they were going to be. However, I only saw some at the beginning. I was talking about in the intro. I'm like, oh, let's not bump into Humiliate and Frogify. And then the first 3 games I played, my opponent had like 500 Frogifies. In fact, I think the 3rd game I played, they had 2 lose all ability cards I had never seen before. And I still won. So maybe they weren't as bad as I thought. It's kind of crazy. At least in that game. The first one I did lose. Witness Protection, I think. Yeah, no, it was the first game I played. Witness Protection just hit this and I lost the game. But after that, all the humiliates did not make me lose the game. I'm not too big a fan of, like, the parked card draw, really. It's kind of weird, especially this one. It's like a lot of mana. Like, a lot of mana to do the second side of this. But on the bright side, you can simply discard them early and then have them for, like, way later or something like that. And I don't know if that makes them better or worse than Ren's Resolve and the other Ren's Resolve, the name I can't remember. The pay 2, exile the top 2, and then you have this turn and the next turn to cast them. I think those could be in here. I mean, there's something else I could probably just take out as well and not feel too bad about that, right? But for the most part, this was fine, right? I fling, or not fling, but thud. I think I thudded like 3 people. Just no one respected this card, and I just boop, just kept going over their head and killing them. The only major difference you could make, which would like categorically change this, is run a bunch of random equipment and then just try to put all the equipment on this, and then suddenly it's big and scary, and then your flings are even scarier, right? Your Teamer Battle Rage is even scarier. I just didn't really feel like doing that. You could even run equipment that give it flying, so it's even harder to like block or whatever, instead of giving it trample. But again, I don't really know. All those equipment, like, they don't really help you in the intermediate like spells actually do, instants and sorceries. The equipment just sits there like Bone Splitter, like giving something +2 attack. It just sits there. It's not a shock, right? Like, I'd rather shock my opponent's Mana Dork than play Bone Splitter. But I'm sure there are some cards in here you could take out. Like, Critical Hit is just a Teamer Battle Rage for the most part without the trample part. But usually not a big deal, but I just never actually cast this card. I think the one time I did cast it, I got countered, so it like, didn't matter. Yeah, green just likes playing Solitaire. Or at least Tatyova, right? Tatyova just plays Solitaire, so... But yeah, that's it. I can recommend this. I got 20 wins in 90 minutes. That's very fast, but it is a very fast strategy. But that doesn't mean much if it can't win, and it can. It can actually win. I did do really, really well with this deck. So the low mana curve, if you do play Hazoret and you like your 3s and 4s, maybe just don't run them. Maybe this is better. Your games are faster, your opponent doesn't have time to breathe, and then you just annihilate them. And then, you know, you just concede if you bump into turn 3 Wormcoil anyways. So, let me know what you thought about this list. If you have ideas to make it scarier somehow, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.